Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving straight into a seriously fascinating audio track. Listen to this every morning. I am Affirmations for success, wealth, positivity, and happiness. You know, if you've ever wondered why so many high achievers literally swear by listening to this powerful loop of daily mantras, well, this explainer is going to break down exactly what's happening under the hood. We're not just going to read these statements, we're deconstructing them to reveal the hidden psychological architecture that actually makes them work. Okay, let's dive into this. Everything starts right here with this quote. I know that my future is unwritten, and I know that I have the power to change. It's the foundational bedrock of this entire affirmation loop. Honestly, if you don't genuinely believe this, the rest of the routine is kind of just empty words. The source intentionally starts by forcing us to claim ultimate self-determination. It's a wake-up call, reminding you that yesterday's failures, or even today's current circumstances, they don't dictate tomorrow. You're the author, and you are the one holding the pen. And that leads us to a really vital question derived straight from the text. How will you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be? The source openly acknowledges that there's a very real gap between where you're standing right now and the life of your dreams. Recognizing that gap isn't meant to be a downer. It's meant to get you moving. So how do we actually build a bridge across that void? Well, hidden within this continuous loop of morning affirmations are 4 fundamental pillars. Let's look at how they construct that bridge. Pillar 1, limitless learning. The source anchors a truly successful morning routine in the mindset of continuous intellectual growth. I am advancing to new levels by learning more each day. The audio repeats this multiple times, and it's absolutely brilliant because it frames learning not as some boring chore or academic requirement, but as the literal vehicle for your advancement. Think of it like this. It treats your mind as a muscle, and its ability to remember and comprehend is actively increasing every single day. You're basically programming yourself to crave knowledge because you recognize it as the key unlocking your limitless potential. But here is where the source provides some massive psychological relief. Alongside that drive to learn, it pairs this beautiful concession. It's okay to not know everything. I can always learn. You know, by loudly admitting we don't know everything, we just drop the ego. We drop the anxiety of perfectionism. Instead, the text encourages us to foster what's basically a gifted student mentality, becoming someone with a sharp, open mind who approaches the world with curiosity rather than this paralyzing fear of looking foolish. Pillar 2, the action confidence loop. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it completely flips the script on how we usually think. We often feel like we need to be confident before we take action, right? But look at this mechanical formula for success. Step 1, your power is in your ability to just get started. Step 2, once you start, your inspiration flows. And step 3, your confidence increases. Notice how inspiration and confidence aren't at the starting line. They are the rewards for taking action. This explainer really wants to hammer home that you literally cannot sit around waiting for motivation to strike. You've got to act first. And this brings us to one of the most critical quotes in the entire text. The more I do what I say I'm going to do, the more my confidence grows. Confidence, according to this source material, isn't some magic spell. It's simply the byproduct of keeping promises to yourself. Every single time you follow through on your word, you build self-trust. And that self-trust, that is the very foundation of a brighter, more secure future. Pillar 3, reframing obstacles. Let's move to the next concept and see how this builds. Because even with limitless learning and a fantastic action loop, you're going to hit friction for sure. So how does this affirmation loop prep you for that? By directly tackling that traditional, paralyzing fear of making mistakes. It compares the idea of fatal failures with a much healthier reality. The text explicitly states, I'm only human and I know I will make mistakes. But it doesn't just stop there. Actually, scratch that. It completely reframes those errors. All my mistakes are opportunities to retake and do things better next time. It totally neutralizes the sting of failure by treating it simply as data for your next attempt. I know that obstacles are not in the way, they are the way. The source emphasizes this really powerful reframing tool to remind us that a path with absolutely zero obstacles doesn't actually go anywhere. If there's no friction, there's no growth. By internalizing this every morning, you kind of stop getting angry when things get hard because you recognize that the hardship is the actual path to your success. It's wild when you really think about it. It summarizes this Stoic philosophy perfectly with these concepts. Success isn't final, failure isn't fatal. It's the courage to persevere that counts. Adopting this exact phrasing helps you actively choose healthy ways to deal with stress. It reminds you that no matter what happens out there, the path to your success remains firmly under your total control, as long as you maintain the courage to keep stepping forward. And finally, Pillar 4, Future Commitment. So how do these morning affirmations solidify an unbreakable bond with the person you're trying to become? Well, the text essentially demands that we cultivate a specific set of core attributes to engineer our own happiness and wealth. We're talking about recognizing your true potential is limitless, maintaining the courage to persevere through those obstacles we just discussed, protecting your ability to focus, and having deep self-respect and dignity. You absolutely must believe that you matter, that you are genuine, and that you are entirely responsible for your own advancement. And this is a remarkably effective psychological reframing. Right now, I am building a strong relationship with the person who I am committed to becoming. The text brilliantly divorces your current feelings from your necessary actions. It repeatedly states how I feel has nothing to do with what I need to do for me to advance. By visualizing your future self as a distinct, real person that you're building a relationship with, you stop self-sabotaging. Why? Because you refuse to let that future version of yourself down. Now, amidst all the positivity and self-belief, the source drops this very sharp, very grounded warning. Focus is your most valuable asset. Don't give in to distraction. So the crucial point is, you can have all the limitless potential in the world, but without focus, it just scatters like dust in the wind. Protecting your attention is quite literally the ultimate currency of your success. And that is the true power of deconstructing this source material. It's not just a random list of happy thoughts. It's a structured 4-pillar system of limitless learning, action-based confidence, reframing obstacles, and fierce commitment to your future. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Knowing that your future is completely unwritten, and knowing that your confidence will absolutely grow with every single promise you keep to yourself, are you ready to commit to your future self today? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer, and keep learning.